Hi Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your messages for the 7th through the 13th. Let's get right into things. So we have some astrology that I just want to address going into this week. We have the Gemini new moon solar eclipse on Thursday the 10th on the heels of that May 26th lunar eclipse. That's going to be conjunct Mercury retrograde, square Neptune, along with Saturn square Uranus. So those four things right now, I feel like is just going to be giving us all a feeling of like destabilization, right? The spiritual meaning of this energy relates to mental confusion, deceptive communication, vulnerability, that's the Mercury retrograde that we're always talking about. And we've been talking about it, so I don't want to overspeak that, but it's the coming together of all of these energies, particularly with this new moon energy. Now, this is happening, Sagittarius, in your 7th house of partnerships, contractual partnerships, marriage, relationship. So anything having to do with any sort of contractual agreement, anything having to do with that, or anything having to do with relationship where you're in this space with somebody that you believe to have a soul contract with at least. So we have that new moon eclipse energy happening along with Mercury retrograde, both in your 7th house. So at the same time, we have that eclipse, that new moon eclipse is going to be squaring Neptune, which is in your 4th house of home, your ability to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. But it could also have to do with your physical home, people that you live with, mother, anything having to do with your past, right? The 4th house rules like your early childhood kind of thing, to one of the family houses as well. So we have Mercury squaring Neptune and the eclipse squaring Neptune, both between your 7th and your 4th house. Square just means tension, if you're not sure what that means. So we have the 7th house of partnerships in tension with that 4th house of home. So, and guys, because there's so much confusion, and I'm going to say this just because of the market right now, the real estate market, you might be experiencing a lot of confusion regarding the purchase of a property, the sale of a property, all right, because that can definitely happen. First of all, Mercury retrograde brings issues with communication and technology issues. We all know that, right? Very confusing kind of thing. It could really kind of weigh on you, right? Because things feel very unreliable. But the eclipse square Neptune, that can have a weakening effect on whatever situation is going on right now. It can end up inciting confusion, can end up inciting disappointment. You might even feel having to do with home. You might even feel rather insecure about something, not sure of a choice, feeling guilty, feeling bad if something doesn't work out. Personal relationships, particularly for you guys, just because it's between the 7th and the 4th, personal relationships can be subject to dishonesty and deception in this energy. Secrets are going to be harder to keep and harder to uncover. So do your best to really avoid, best you can, to avoid being gullible, right? We should always do that, but particularly in this energy right now. What else did I want to mention? I think everybody's just kind of going to be sort of more susceptible to any sort of like psychological and health issues just because Neptune rules disease. But I don't think it's going to be that big a deal for you just because of the placement. But you might just be feeling a little racier than normal, a little more challenged in being able to ground yourself. If you're feeling like that, it's because of all of this, right? The Mercury retrograde squaring Neptune, that just causes confusion, insecurity, misunderstandings. Very distorted thinking can complicate discussions and business dealings, all right? Going back to that idea of those of you who are doing anything regarding home, maybe you're working on your home, you're having work done, anything like that. Even little white lies could lead to major embarrassment or the need for some a more convoluted cover-up. So you want to just be careful there. And the last thing that I wanted to mention, though, is the Saturn squaring Uranus. And for you guys, this is happening between your 3rd house, which is Gemini's home, communication, all forms, signing on the dotted line, signing contracts on the dotted line. It has to do with your siblings, your neighborhood, your neighbors, short distance travel, anything at all having to do with communication, and it's in tension with Uranus in your 6th house. And Uranus is all about shocking surprises, right? But things that are supposed to bring us into the future. So you're having this, again, between your 3rd and your 6th house. Now, this is not culminating until June 14th. So remember, I mentioned a moment ago about having a hard time sort of stabilizing yourself. I feel like that's going to be more of a thing like going into the next week after this reading covers. But Saturn square Uranus can be a tricky energy. It can, because it brings restrictive change, unexpected restrictions to all the other energies. So it could bring change that you really don't want, and it also makes it harder to make the kind of changes that you do want. So it could be frustrating, like very high tension, these sudden unexpected changes are always going to create some anxiety, but it doesn't have to be like that, right? If you stay very open-minded, very patient, flexible, what at first seems like a challenge can be turned into an opportunity to rid yourself of, right? Any sort of negativity, any sort of that restriction that you're going to be feeling, limiting things in your life. It's the kind of thing where you're going to sit back and say, all right, that had to happen so that this could happen, kind of thing, right? But that's going to be a little bit down the road. The month is going to be a little trippy, June, I'm not going to lie, because this Mercury retrograde, and that Mercury is retrograde half the time, so I never sweat that. You know, my readings, those of you who have been watching me, but it's this Neptune, and it's Neptune and Uranus that we really have to understand is really changing the whole flavor of how we experience this particular retrograde. And it's not going to be at a post shadow until like the end of the last week of July. So just know that things are going to be very confusing. Now, as far as this eclipse energy, because of the players involved and the squares involved, this is going to be playing out, honestly, guys, I feel like the rest of the year. Not that you're going to be stressed and confused the rest of the year. The confusion's going to lighten, but whatever is popping now is going to be rolling out over the next 6 months or so. So let's see what we have here for our friends. So this is Sag. This is for the eclipse astrology. Then I'm going to go into relationship. Then I'm going to go into some career or money cards. I'll timestamp below in the description box, but you'll also find a 20% off coupon code for my June special readings. Okay, so first up we have tune out distractions. Really try to stay very focused where you can. Focus on what you can control. And try to just rise above. I'm telling everybody, like, rise above the smoke, because it's almost like a smoky fog, right? That's always, Neptune, I always say, is like trying to look at reality through a very thick fog or a dirty window, right? So you're going to feel this fogginess, this vagueness that is less, even though the Mercury retrograde is going to be more powerful in everybody's chart than Neptune is right now, but Neptune is this insidious kind of fog. So it's just adding confusion on top of confusion. So we have tune out distractions, and we have the energy of soulmate, which is clarified by between worlds, guys. So you might be in a very weird space having to do with your relationship with some sort of business partner, anybody like that. But we do have Ace of Swords, which indicates a new beginning. This is very auspicious for all areas of your life. It's new beginnings, it's decisions, it's clear thinking. In that business relationship, in love, any other area of your life, there's an immediate change to circumstances for the better. This is really indicative of like mental agility, right? Because it's swords. Swords is a very mental energy, even though we're Mercury retrograde. But this kind of, it's the mental agility and the assertiveness that you're going to be feeling is going to bring success. Just don't be afraid of it, right? Don't be afraid of it. Those of you who are resonating with this for a relationship, this is getting over past issues, past obstacles, and getting what you want. Thoughts becoming things. But there's going to need to be a lot of discussion, and this is where it's going to be a little challenging, right? Just because of everything that I just discussed. So it's really important, if you guys are making the decision to sit down and have that conversation with that intimate partner, that business partner, that maybe that's, you know, because we could be soulmates with our friends, guys, even our family members, right? I mean, most of us know that at this point. But so it's when you're sitting down to discuss, okay, here we are, and we want to go here, like, what are we doing? Understand that it's more normal than not for you to feel not 100% sure about anything right now. That is completely in alignment with the energy. So try to ride it out if you can. There's nothing wrong with planning. There's nothing wrong if you guys are trying to move forward in a relationship, in a business situation, in any kind of situation where maybe there's a purchase involved or there's planning needed. Do the planning. You could do the planning. You can have the conversations. You could do the, you know, let's get the ducks in a row kind of thing. But outside of that, just understand that while it's not against the energetic law, so ridiculous, right, to do something new in Mercury retrograde, you just want to be prepared that you might be missing something. That's all. So make sure you read the bottom line 5 million times, ask a ton of questions, all of that, because it may roll out by mid-July. You're like, hey, I didn't know this at that point. You know what I'm saying? So we have do all things in moderation. Okay. And that's being clarified by procrastination. See, sometimes you get so overwhelmed with stuff, right? It's like you get so overwhelmed that you go into shutdown, and then it turns into analysis paralysis. You want to be careful of that, and you need to be fair. You need to be fair. You need to think about, is everybody being fair here? Not, you know what I mean? Like you might say, oh, I'm totally fair. What do you mean? And honestly, you are, but maybe somebody else is not. So that needs to be a question of the moment, because to be fair is being clarified by the Tower. So what this tells me is something that's not fair has got to stop. There's got to be a necessary surrender somewhere, whether you're being treated unfairly or you're treating somebody else unfairly. This may require you looking at something with a little more empathy, having to do with some sort of situation that you're in, to at least not agree with the other side, that friend, that intimate partner, that family member, whatever it is. It's not about agreeing, it's about understanding, because whatever past patterns of relating, or relating how you've been relating up to this point, it's got to go, because it's not working. Something's not working right. We have to forgive and forget. Easier said than done, I know, but forgive and forget. And then we have the idea of temptation that is being clarified by go the distance. So there's this kind of thing where it's sort of going to be in this space. It's like, is this worth it? Is it worth it? Or do I want to just say the hell with all of this and just say, I want to be out of this relationship. I want to leave this job. I want to break up this business partnership. The hell with my family. I'm going to love them from a distance. I don't want to deal with this anymore. There is a temptation here that could be inhibiting the going the distance. And that's because it seems like there are some sore feelings involved. Sore, listen to me, I sound like I'm 100 years old. Sore feelings. But there are some hurt feelings here for sure. I mean, it just seems like this. But you're being called to go the distance. So I don't know. I mean, there's this need to release something or look at something a little differently so that we can have this Page of Pentacles energy, which is really nice. I mean, this is a very auspicious beginning kind of energy for fill in the blank, that business, that offer, that property, that relationship. This could be a new mental, physical, or emotional connection, anything like that, right? I mean, this is about either your talent shining through, you being successful in relationship, money coming to you. You know, this is all really good. Pages are very literally page-turning energy and insights a new cycle. And the Pentacles can mean finances, obviously, but it's also mental, physical, and emotional connection. So there's a newness here. Some of you might be getting a new job, a new relationship, or just handling things in a very different way, like a new approach. So it looks like something needs to be worked out. Right? Something needs to be worked out, and a way of relating needs to be released that you've been dealing with. Some of you may be realizing that a relationship has to end. Some sort of connection has to end. I'm not going to be surprised if you're feeling that way, guys, because you have so much of this heavy energy in your 7th house, and even in your 4th house. So, you know, a lot of times that is relationship energy as well, depending on if you live with your partner or not, right? Okay. So let's get into relationship. We'll pull one oracle for each, and then we'll pull the cards across. Chaos and conflict are starting. Okay, so that's wisdom of the oracle and healing yourself. Let's see what we have here. This guy wants to come out. Hole in the soul. Okay. Have faith. Chaos and conflict, hole in the soul. Setting time right now, Sag. You just want things to be more calm. Taurus, I have. Taurus is the 2nd house of money. Things you value. Money and things you value. including your self-esteem, the roof over your head, the food you put in your mouth. That's Taurus. Taurus rules the body as well. But it is about our personal possessions and what we have. So there might be some sort of situation between what you have and a partner has. This idea perhaps of sharing, not sharing. Sharing sounds like a very juvenile word, but you know what I mean. You know, is everybody showing up equally kind of thing, you know. Okay, so we have 4 of Swords. Let's pull some energies to clarify, and then we'll pull qualifiers as we need for relationship. So getting into this chaos and conflict energy, first card up, we have the 4 of Swords. So this is about, you know, first of all, let me show you the chaos and conflict. Okay. And then we have the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is about, you know, stepping back for perspective, taking a little time out. Really good energy for, you know, shadow work, therapy, anything like that. But this is telling me that you're trying to figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding something that's going on within the relationship. Either the relationship itself or something that's going on within the relationship. And the 4 of Swords is being clarified by Temperance. So Temperance is about cooperation and moderation. There's a new level of trust and patient cooperation can be had here after a pretty difficult time. Now, if you happen to be single, maybe you went through a bit of a crazy time period and you're sort of stepping back, you may find yourself, Sagittarius, very energetically or spiritually pulled towards somebody. It's a very emotionally intense time. Very emotionally intense time. But Temperance really is about trying to find balance, right? It's trust, it's patience, cooperation, moderation, reconciliation, healing, angelic guidance, all beautiful things like that. That's being clarified by patience. Hard work paying off. Lots of potential for success here. Whatever your situation is going on here in this relationship, don't give up. Your future self is going to thank you for it. It's just you need to strategize or handle things a lot more differently in order to settle this chaos and conflict, in order to temper it. So we have a hole in the soul. So we have clarifying the hole in the soul. We have the beautiful 6 of Wands, which is about, you know, as far as relationship goes, it's about sharing feelings and then being well received and positive communication coming in, and there being a deepening of connection, right? Except that's being clarified by the 10 of Swords, rather, which is about an ending. There's a finality and the release is something that releases you, at least from the frustration and the stress, even if it's painful. It's the end of a challenging era. So now it's time for you to move forward into a healthier mindset. So that hole in your soul has to do with feeling the ability to, you know, and 6 of Wands, not to cut myself off, but it's an energy of a lot of respect. It really is. It's well, the story of it is, right, the guy's a soldier and he goes off to war to protect the town. And he ends up defending the enemy and saves everybody in the town. So everybody, when he comes back, everybody's like, hey, go you. Thank you so much. You know, we respect you for all that you did for us. And you know what I mean? And it's like that acknowledgement, that level of acknowledgement. And it's that acknowledgement that I feel like, or the lack of acknowledgement rather, Sag, that you feel like that's the hole in your soul. Not that you're even looking for somebody to come in and say, okay, you're worthy of being alive, Sagittarius. Yay, you know, you're not looking for that. But it's in your mind, okay? It's you feel like somebody is not being either fair or respecting the fact that you do, you know, certain things in the relationship. It's almost the energy of feeling like a type of taken advantage of. Even if they have maybe reason to feel like that, it doesn't take away from the fact that you feel like that. And this is a complete and painful ending to something. And then we have the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands is, this is a new romantic partnership. You know, you might meet possibly through work or friends. I do want to just say that for those of you who would resonate with it like that. But this is about making plans and moving forward. It's very much a partnership energy, but there are 2 aspects to the situation. So there are 2, like, you might be dealing with something in a relationship where there's, should we do this or should we do that? Should I be in this relationship or should I be in that one? Should I be in the relationship or should I be single? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be different for all of you. This is a general reading, but it's this idea of 2 of Swords, right? So it's this need to figure something out. But there's this need to have faith in a new beginning, right? Pages always incite a new cycle, right? So this is new. Now, for some of you, this is a new potential partner being on the near horizon. For others of you, this is just good news coming in, having to do with something that's very emotionally challenging within your current relationship. So this could be anything from, you know, if money's been an issue, maybe money coming in, something within family, anything like that for those of you who are partnered already. And then we have the High Priestess energy and we have the Judgment. Okay, so the High Priestess, first of all, some of you may be single right now, even though it looks like if you're single right now, it does look like another energy is wanting to come in here. That is one understanding of the High Priestess energy. This can also indicate a couple of things. You thinking and feeling a lot. Feeling a lot, right? It's the Moon energy. Moon is the emotions. You feeling a lot inside that you're really not discussing with anybody. You're not. And what is it that you're thinking? If this is resonating with you as like that, this is about you assessing the relationship and just letting go of the past and making a decision about the past and having a spiritual awakening and allowing your love, the relationship, to shift into a new phase. So for some of you, there might be a need for reconciliation. For others of you, this is about realizing you want to let something go. So it depends on exactly where you're at, because remember, Judgment energy is Pluto, and Pluto is about digging things up from the past, looking at it, and then making a decision about it. It's about endings and beginning. It's the modern ruler of Scorpio. So it's transformation. So you might be transforming the energy within a current relationship or making the decision to transform your life by allowing something to end so that you can have a new beginning in another area. The High Priestess can also indicate, though, working on something alone, doing something alone very privately with your partner right now. And really, the High Priestess with the Judgment energy can certainly be privately working out your issues. You know what I mean? And having faith that there could be a new beginning. But you want to make sure, though, I just want to throw this out there, only because the High Priestess, you want to make sure that you're not doing more thinking about fixing something than you're actually actively trying to fix something, if that makes sense. You know, and the thing is, you might not be clear right now because of all of this crazy Neptune, Uranus, eclipse energy about what the right thing to do is. So we have clarifying Taurus. We have the Ace of Swords. Again, another energy very auspicious for new beginnings, clear thinking in love. And that clear thinking is going to incite an immediate change to your circumstances. And this is going to allow whatever's going on for those of you in relationship already to get over past obstacles. Just really get what you want, right? Really is an energy of like thoughts becoming things, right? Because remember, the swords are thoughts. So Ace is brand new. So it's kind of like, you know, again, this sort of page turning energy. But that Ace of Swords is being clarified by the Eight of Wands in the reverse. And this is about frustrations, right? And problems ahead and delays. But you guys are there for each other. So I you know, I don't know, Sag, it does seem like for some of you, looking to feel better about a situation. Some of you looking to meet somebody new, right? Because remember, Taurus is also ruled by Venus. So those of you looking to meet somebody new, the Ace of Swords does indicate that, but you might not be meeting them just yet, right? But when you do meet them, there's an energy that's right there that's coming up for me very, very strong. But we have the Six of Pentacles, which is really nice because this is somebody who is going to end up having your back, right? The Six of Pentacles is a really nice energy because it has to do with many things. It has to do with family. It has to do with generosity. It has to do with helping each other out. Someone from your past offering you support, you offering somebody else support. You know, it could be that kind of energy, but it's like you're not hearing from them. And it doesn't only have to be about money, obviously. It's mental, physical, emotional connection. Just having each other's back. But there's some sort of delay that's going to be an issue. So some of you in relationship, you might be trying to push something forward, but there's a delay. Those of you not in relationship, you want to be in relationship, you're feeling it, you can feel it, but not yet. Not yet, and anyway, wait anyway until June. Like, even if you meet somebody now, take it really, really slow, like at a snail's pace for sure, until the energy is a lot lighter, so that there's more clarity, so that you know what exactly it is that you're getting into. Okay, so that's what it seems like. Things, I don't know, taking a bit of a turn in current relationships. And those of you who are not in relationships, it does seem like somebody new is coming in. There's going to be some sort of delay as to why it's not going to be able to roll out really quickly. But I feel like that's going to end up being a blessing in disguise, just because of the other energies. Like, sometimes we like those reversals, you know. I trust the Eight of Wands in reverse a lot more during this energy than if it were in the upright, to be honest with you. All right. Okay, so this is going to be a career money situation here. Build on solid ground. Unleash your creativity. Clean it up. Something needs to be cleaned up. Cleaning up could be just anything from, let me just pull this one, Cancer, I feel that has to do with fourth house of home. So maybe some of you are investing. You may resonate with this as only because you have the Neptunian energy, right, in that fourth house, right? But clean it up. Clean it up, first of all, is, what's messy right now, having to do with money or some sort of financial situation. So this doesn't have to only do with the career that you get, you get up and you go to work each day. This could have to do with any sort of financial situation, from a lawsuit, inheritance, insurance payout, any kind of investment, anything like that. Anything like that. So you might need to be a little creative. There could be two things at once here. You might be looking to build on solid ground and getting into something very creative. At the same time, maybe you have to address something that's going on in your house, both of which, though, require money. So maybe you're in a space of needing to move, or maybe you're in a space of wanting to invest in something. Okay. What the heck? I can't even. All right, listen, Temperance fell. Yeah, that's it. Oh, these cards are weird today. All right, let's just go. Yep. Yeah, I feel like there are two things going on here. It's like the money is affecting the home situation, which can be affecting the relationship situation. So anyway, we have build on solid ground. So we have King of Pentacles, clarified by the wheel, clarified by the Ten of Swords. So the King of Pentacles is, this is a good energy. I mean, as far as we're talking about career, and anything with money at all, right? Because this is an Aries and Taurus energy. So very generous, hardworking energy. Just likes to be a protector kind of energy, but no patience for anyone looking to take what's his. So if there's some sort of financial situation that you're involved in where somebody is you feel like trying to use your money, take your money, be fair with your money, you want to be very, very clear about whatever it is that you're going into, involved in right now. You want it to be solid. You don't want anything that's very nebulous, anything that's up in the air. You really want to make sure something is very solid. Now we have the wheel clarifying that, which is Jupiter. And this is really good news coming in, but you just want to make sure you prioritize what's being asked of you, and make sure you exercise a lot of integrity. Because this is the Magician and the Sun in numerology. So this is being able to crystallize something, having everything that you need in order to make something happen. But we have that wheel is clarified by the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is about really kind of ending a very challenging time, a challenging era. so that you can transform into a better space. So Sag, I feel like when it comes to either money, career, some sort of investment, something like that, there's been a lot of challenge up to this point, but you're going to be leaving that behind. Okay. Now we have this unleash your creativity. This could literally be you getting more in touch with that creative element within you, taking what it is that you do and adding a spin to it. Anything like that where you're taking a situation and you're adding your own flavor, your own spin, whatever it is. But we have that being clarified by Temperance. So I just have this very strong feeling, and you guys are the 9th house of negotiation. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of really beautiful negotiating happening in your energy right now. I just really do. As we get the wheel here, which is Jupiter, right? And then we have the Temperance here, and Temperance is Sagittarius. It's you, which is the 9th house. So it's like having to go in and balance something, do a little negotiating. Then we have 2 like moving away cards. So it's like you're trying to temper something, but then we have the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is moving away from something that doesn't feel right. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't feel right. Sadness, but no regret, right? Checked out, not wanting to do that anymore. So somebody else might have been trying to approach a situation very creatively, and you're like, yeah, nope, not feeling it, because it ended up inciting so much overwhelm and a lot of burden and a lot of anxiety, right? I mean, that really, it can be very tricky, right? This energy, because it's overwhelming. So now we have to clean it up. So some sort of mess might have been developed here regarding some sort of either project, purchase, sale, something like that. Something having to do with money or anything even within work. But I'm getting the energy that something happened here and now it needs to be cleaned up. We have the 6 of Pentacles, which this does have to do with property and family, inheritance, generosity, support. This does indicate if you've been struggling financially, things getting better, money coming to you, someone from your past offering you support, you offering it to them. But there being this element of reciprocity, and that's being clarified by the beautiful Page of Wands here, which is about you expressing yourself and good news coming in about some sort of project, something that requires negotiation. And this is going to be like right in your literal wheelhouse. A very busy time at work. This could bring a new offer in. And the only thing that I want to say here, though, is that like the offer that comes in or the situation that's presented to you might not be perfect for you. I'm not going to say perfect. What it is that you truly, truly want in your mind's eye, as you'd like or expect, but it can still appeal to you in theory. You just want to make sure you read the fine print, seriously, before signing or agreeing to anything. This is a totally new path. Here we go, right? Very nice. I mean, this is great. This is a new path, a new approach in your current position, or a new career, or some sort of new investment, some sort of new something, right? You just want to make sure that you prioritize, again, your responsibilities in order to move things ahead smoothly. So prioritize and read the bottom line. Like, do what needs to be done. No procrastination in this energy. It will not go well for you. All right, so then we have the Cancer, I feel, which is this home energy, right? I mean, but it is also the idea of feeling safe and secure in something, right? Grounded, safe, and secure. So clarifying that, we have the 5 of Swords. So, I mean, look, there is a clash of desire and reality, and this tension and ongoing conflict. You're not going to win it. So you right now, you're better off just walking away and dealing with your disappointment, your anger, whatever it is, privately, right? Because you can't mitigate the situation. You can't change a situation that ended up, it seems like something not working out, and you're just realizing like, what I want is not this, like, right? I mean, it's what I want in my mind's eye is not the reality of this, right? You're not really wanting that, but it's creating some confusion. So 5 of Swords creating this 2 of Pentacle confusion. there needs to be something negotiated, right? And you need to make a decision regarding more than one path, regarding more than one investment, regarding more than one opportunity, more than one something, right? And it's like you could feel a sense of lack in something. So maybe you're not feeling very connected to the idea. Maybe you're not feeling like there's a lack of money maybe to actually invest in something, or maybe you're feeling like you're not getting paid enough money, something like that. And you need to decide though, which idea are you going to put down, right? Because there are two aspects to the situation that you're trying to figure out, but you have to figure out which idea are you going to end up putting down, and then allowing this new beginning. Beautiful energy, very nice. Ace of Cups, excellent. I mean, this is about being able to grow in something, right? Really good energy. Things coming to fruition that you've been really working on. But it being some sort of new, there's something new going on here. Some sort of new offer coming in. So that's what I have. It looks good, Sagittarius, I have to tell you. It does look good, but it looks like you're going to have to go through something and sort of work through how you feel about something in order for that Ace of Cups to happen. So that's what I have. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.